An immediate break for local drivers. Thunder Bay is now offering free parking across most of the city. Good evening, I'm Ryan Benazzo. Starting today, residents have 2 hours of complimentary parking at any street-metered spot and 4 hours at Marina Park. The bylaw passed 9-2 during last night's council meeting after councillors debated the pros and cons of the big change, which will last for at least 2 years. Jessica Clement has the details.
It's a great opportunity for us to fix and give back the community their parks and give back the downtown cores their customers so they can shop, eat, and enjoy.
The parking strategy changes were first recommended by city staff a month ago. The new bylaw allows 2 hours of free parking at street-metered spots with the option to purchase an additional 2 hours. Marina Park visitors will be eligible for up to 4 hours and can pay for an additional 4. Commissioner of Corporate Services Carrie Greaves stressed that along with the complimentary parking, the city would like residents to use the Passport parking app.
If you're shopping, if you're dining, and you can see on your phone that your parking spot is running out. It's a few clicks and you're back enjoying your day for up to another 2 hours.
Greaves says the app allows city staff to gather as much parking data as possible to help them create a revised parking plan in 2027. However, he understands that not all residents can access the app.
There are other options. They can feed the meter. We have pay stations that are also can be used with either your card or or coins.
McIntyre Ward Councillor Albert Aiello and at-large Councillor Shelby Chung opposed the change, bringing up concerns around revenue loss, which is projected to be $944,000 out of the city's parking reserve fund.
I just have a tough time because there's no compromise in this. It's not $1 for 3 hours or $1 for 4 hours, something that's very, very affordable, but people are got to get used to paying. It's just the rest of the world does. Either the user pays because they're going to go to these parks, or everybody pays.
I'm just not really convinced that we should be giving away free parking. Honestly, everywhere you go in the world, you have to pay for parking except for Thunder Bay.
The parking change passed 9-2 and has already taken effect. Waterfront District BIA Executive Director Kara Pratt says local businesses will really benefit from the new rules.
I'm sure the retailers will see a difference because people will come down and just shop like they would, say, at a mall or something and not have to worry about paying for parking. Same with coffee shops. It could be a quick stop. And if somebody's picking up something very quickly, you don't have to worry about finding a spot.
Jessica Clement, TBT News.
The city is also getting closer to red light cameras. Council voted unanimously in support of moving to the next stage of implementation for the program, which uses sensors to photograph vehicles that run red lights. City staff will now develop a business case. The plan involves adopting an administrative penalty system, which means the provincial court won't be involved in administering tickets. The new system would help support the camera program and could open the door for other automated enforcement programs like school bus stop arm cameras. City staff say 10 red light cameras will go up around the city. McKellar Ward Councillor Brian Hamilton asked how they'll be implemented.
Are we considering like a phased program where there's 5 up 1 year, 10, what, could you speak about the phased in approach?
It's my understanding we would need all 10 intersections up at one time, so it wouldn't be a phased approach, it would be 10 red lights throughout the city.
Council also discussed the designated truck route last night with deputations from residents on Dawson Road and West Arthur Street. A vote will take place during Council's June 23rd meeting. After numerous tragic collisions and years of lobbying by Oliver Papoonge officials, traffic lights are being installed next year at the intersection of Twin City Crossroad, West Arthur Street, and Highway 130.
We've wrote letters to the MTO. We had meetings with them over the years. They've looked at it, and finally, at one point, they decided that they would do something there after they've done traffic studies and so on.
Oliver Papoonge Mayor Lucy Kloosterhuis says she usually avoids that intersection because it's so difficult to cross safely. Her council was originally told the long-awaited traffic lights would be set up this summer, but the Ministry of Transportation has confirmed to TBT News that the construction work and signals will go ahead next year instead. Kloosterhout's notes, however, that drivers may be able to see some preliminary work already in the area, as the intersection will have to be widened on all four sides.
You can tell where they've surveyed the merge lanes, and they are starting to work with engineers there and putting lines in the ground and whatever they all do. So they have been busy working at it, and we hope it does happen in 2026. It's a very, very busy intersection, and it's a very dangerous one.
An MTO spokesperson says the ministry routinely monitors different criteria for highway intersections, like traffic volumes, delays to side road traffic, and pedestrian activity. The most recent analysis showed the need for traffic signals at that intersection. Greenstone OPP are looking for help from the public as they continue to investigate a recent homicide in Geraldton. 32-year-old Brandon Rich died in hospital after officers responded to what was reported as a medical emergency just after midnight on May 15th. Police later charged a Greenstone resident, 19-year-old Alexis Agamway, with second-degree murder. In an update today, OPP asked Geraldton residents to check their video surveillance systems for any suspicious persons or activity on May 14th or 15th. Investigators are also trying to find a folding knife that's apparently connected to the case. Anyone with information or video is asked to contact Greenstone OPP or Crime Stoppers. A Thunder Bay judge has imposed a lengthy prison sentence against the driver in a fatal hit-and-run near Intercity Shopping Centre 2 years ago. 41-year-old Jonathan Pepompe pleaded guilty to dangerous driving causing death and failing to remain at the scene of an accident. The court heard he was impaired and unlicensed at the time of the crash. Jonathan Wilson has the details.
The victim, 42-year-old Carson Aaron Johnson, was walking on the sidewalk along Fort William Road with his female partner in July of 2023 when they were both struck by an out-of-control vehicle. Johnson died soon afterwards, while his partner suffered life-altering injuries. The driver, Jonathan Pepompe, fled the scene on foot, and surveillance footage of him entering Intercity Shopping Centre was made public by city police, leading to his arrest. In court, Pepompe pleaded guilty to dangerous driving causing death, dangerous driving causing bodily harm, and failing to remain at the scene. He'd been using crack cocaine and alcohol before the crash, and told police he dozed off behind the wheel and then accidentally hit the gas pedal just before the crash. At his sentencing hearing, the Crown asked the judge to impose a total of 7.5 years behind bars, while the defense argued for 6 years. The judge said the sentence must send a strong message and ordered Pepompe to 7 years in prison. He's also been given a lifetime ban on driving. With credit for time served, Pepompe will serve another 4 years in Stony Mountain Institution. Jonathan Wilson, TBT News.
An 18-year-old impaired male driver has been arrested after he flipped his pickup truck onto its side on a play field at the Current River Community Center. Thunder Bay Police say they got the call just after 10 o'clock last night that the vehicle had been driven onto a walking path and then onto the fields. It was flipped on its side when officers arrived on the scene. The accused has been charged with dangerous driving, impaired driving, and mischief. Opposition parties continue to try to make changes to the Ford government's controversial Bill 5. Literally thousands of amendments are being proposed by the NDP and the Liberals at Queen's Park. Nonetheless, the bill is still expected to be passed tomorrow. CTV's Siobhan Morris has the story.
A mountain of amendments, 4,000 changes to Bill 5 suggested by the Liberals.
This is not delay for delay's sake.
Calling it a delay to defend democracy. A committee considering the bill that would create special economic zones where some laws wouldn't apply is working through the amendments one by one.
If the government votes against that amendment, they're going to be voting for the possibility of exempting somebody from obeying the Safe Drinking Water Act.
Amendment 14.0.0.227.
There's no debate here, just vote after vote with minutes ticking by.
I feel like I'm just sitting like that. And that's it. And that's the way the committee works. And that's the way this government is passing this bill.
The committee's scheduled to sit until midnight, with the final vote in the House on Bill 5 tomorrow. There likely won't be time to work through all the proposed changes before that vote, including 25 that Progressive Conservatives have proposed.
The government will not get the bill it wants, and that will be the signal to the government. Take the summer, go and consult, properly, especially with First Nations, and come back with a better bill.
With only 2 days before MPPs head home for summer break, the government's out of runway to address anxieties on Bill 5 from civil liberties groups, environmentalists, and First Nations.
I believe in duty to consult. I believe in treaty rights, but we can't take 2-3 years for duty to consult. We need to move forward.
For the legislature's only First Nations representative, the Premier's words don't have the ring of truth.
They're getting very bad advice from someone.
Even if efforts to stop Bill 5 from becoming law are not successful, the NDP is determined to fight on, and they've done this before, pointing to reversals on Bill 124 and the Greenbelt land removal. At Queen's Park, Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
The Thunder Bay Chamber of Commerce has announced plans for a small business solutions summit this fall. It's a collaboration with several local partners as a way to compete during difficult economic times. The summit will take place October 22nd at the Superior Inn. One of the main collaborators will be the Thunder Bay CEDC as it works with the Chamber to support local businesses and entrepreneurs during the U.S. trade war. Director of Special Events Nancy Milani says the event will include a trade show and a variety of workshops and speakers.
We just got talking, quite frankly, with one partner and talked about doing something jointly, and then decided maybe it made sense. For the partners and the collaborators are all people that fund and give advice and are able to help small business. So we decided that we wanted to start this conference, and hopefully it will be an annual one and one that will grow.
Small businesses are being challenged in a number of different ways, still recovering from COVID, now not all the uncertainty around tariffs. I think it's really great that the Chamber came to us with the idea. We were the first partner on board, had a great conversation. It's the first of its kind in our community, and it's a real testament to the business ecosystem. 8 partners coming together to support small businesses.
More information about exhibits and sponsors or on how to register as an attendee is available on the Chamber of Commerce website. Over 100 dogs and cats from Long Lake 58 and Ganoogaming First Nations received some much-needed veterinary services over the weekend. The second annual Animal Services Clinic was held in Ganoogaming. Justin Hardy has the details.
The collaboration between Ganoogaming First Nation, Long Lake 58, the Northern Reach Network, and the Global Alliance for Animals and People saw animals from both communities receive hundreds of services. The cats and dogs were eligible for a variety of different services, according to registered veterinary technician Jennifer Hughes.
Our core services that we offered were spay and neuter services, so to get those animals so they're sterilized, so they cannot reproduce. And then the basic wellness was the rabies vaccine, the core vaccine for each species, so we did dogs and cats. And then we also did parasite prevention. So the flea, the tick, and then intestinal worms, because some of those were intestinal parasites are zoonotic. And then as we all know, ticks do carry diseases that can harm humans as well.
Last year's clinic saw 148 surgeries performed, 204 exams provided, 408 vaccines administered, and 3 dogs transferred out of community for more extensive health care. This year, the clinic performed 138 surgeries and 119 wellness exams. Matawa Indigenous Animal Services Specialist Judy Cannon says there's a great need in many parts of northwestern Ontario for animal health services.
It is a veterinarian desert along this highway. There's only one clinic that is servicing many communities. And traditionally, there are no veterinarians or RVTs like Jen in First Nation communities. So we're just happy to be here. But the stories that the families have been telling us throughout this clinic has been heartbreaking because, you know, they're in tears telling us how if an animal that is injured, they have nowhere to go.
The annual collaboration has also been extended for an additional 3 years, thanks to help from a grant from PetSmart Charities of Canada. Justin Hardy, TBT News.